The 11th of November, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Shesava Shamotzi is bor Mikorov Neabdu Biachris. Oh, that's what Tosas is saying. Tosas is saying a svara. Tosas is saying a svara that the where he says Minolan Shiehei Bishvil Kach. Where does Rashi where's Rashi get off with this this din that he wouldn't be required to return it? The Oved Edom is Yayish. Tosus maintains that the owner that lost the item, that lost these animals, there's no reason for him to be Miyayish. Listen to what Tosus says. What's the interesting reason? Why not? Shesavar, because the owner he figures that that Shahamotzi is bor, that the one who finds these animals in the midbar, he will figure Shemikarov Navdu. He'll figure, oh, these animals were probably got lost just a few days ago. How do you tell that an animal has been lost for a year? You don't know. So Tosa says that it doesn't make any sense that after a year the person is going to be miyayish because Tosa says the person will figure that I don't have any reason to be miyayish because the one who finds them, he will certainly announce that he found them because he will assume that that they've been only lost for a short period of time. Okay. Now I remember that Tosus, Tosus said that there was a different scenario. Tosus was saying the scenario was that that the 12 months means that he had the finder had the animals in his possession for 12 months, and he was matapa with them. He was caring for them, feeding them, and that Tosus brings from the Mishnah later on in our parak actually that that's the din that the finder has to take care of the animal for 12 months, and after that he doesn't have to take care of the animal anymore. He can just whatever sell the animal if he wants, and just get the proceeds, and he puts aside the proceeds, and if the guy comes and asks for his animals, say, oh, here's the proceeds, I sold them. So that would be what he would be allowed to do, the finder. But Avodah Shmuel, he didn't do that. He kept the animals and he took care of them, even though it was more than 12 months. Yeah. Okay. So you want to do Tosus Lifnim Shiras Adin?
Do you? I don't know. You said, oh, it's not that long. I don't know. Because the question is, why is he worrying about being leaf? What's the big deal about it? Why should he have to go that leaf day? I mean, there's a whole question whether leaf nashur is a din or not. Do you do that? That's the extra mile. Following the law there.
Right. So basically, lifnei mishur sadin means he's going beyond the letter of the law. He's not obligated to do what he did, but he did it, and so that's the story with these donkeys that were found in the desert. Avodah Shmuel, that's Shmuel's father. He went beyond the letter of the law in his obligation as a finder. Okay, so Tosfos has a discussion over here. Oh, the first thing Tosfos does is tell us what's the source for this din. From it says Asher Yasun Nafgalan. We learned this concept from those words in that pasuk. Wherever that pasuk is, Tosfos says the Gemora that discusses it is later on. It's on Lamed Amid Beis. Oh, this sounds like a pretty technical Tosfos. The next thing that Tosfos says is that why does the Gemara learn from that pasuk? It should learn from Tamid lo Mesi Kra Hacha Keda Mesi Lekaman. But Uvdid the Rabbi Yishmael Uba Gozel Kama. So he's this it sounds like the subject of the Tosfos is what's the source for this din of lifnim mishur sadin, which is it's not really an obligation, but it's something that somebody does beyond the letter of the law. Okay, so maybe I think we can bypass that one. So let's go further in the Gemara. Rava Habi Shokil. Rava Habi Shokil. This can be found.
I got it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Rava was following behind Rav Nachman. Rava Habi Shakil Lahazil Bas Rai. Excuse me. Rebbe Nachman. Shuka de Gil Dai. In the market of the leather workers. Va'amrei la, and some say Beshuka de Rabbanan, in the market of the rabbis. Amar le, he said to him, that is Rava said to Rav Nachman, Matzah kan ar naki. If one found a purse here, Mahu, what is the law? Amar Rav, Amar Le, Rav Nachman said to him, Hare Elu Shalo. We see that these belong to the finder. Ba Yisrael V'nasan Ba Siman. If a Jew comes and gives a mark for it, Mahu, what's the law? Amar Le, he said to him, that's Rava Nachman said back to Rava, Hare Elu Shalo. These things belong to the finder. Even though the owner came with a simon, according to Rav Nachman, the finder still keeps them. V'halo o made b'tzoveach. But is it not that the original owner is standing there and is shouting at him, give me back my thing? Rav Nachman responded, Naasa kitzoveach al bioso shenafal. This is like someone who shouts about his house that fell. Al sefi naso shetav'a biyam, or about his ship that sank at sea.
Okay, let's go over the Rashi in this case. That's he explained all the whole case. So let's see where we are in Rashi.
We got the word, what is it, Giladai?
Giladai. The Giladai.
Shuka de Giladai.
Ratza Anim. Okay, so Ratzanim, I guess Ratza is like the leather straps. So these are the guys who work in the leather.
Right. Right. From the word Ritsua.
Yeah. And this next word is not even here. That's something else.
That's already Viter. So Rashi didn't explain anything for us. So
yeah.
Well, we're left to our own devices over here. So Rava, what happened over here? Matzakan Arnaki, if you found here in the shuk, you found a wallet over here. What's the din? So he told him, Harei Elu Shalo. Rav Nachman said, it belongs to the finder. And then Rava questioned him, but Bo Yisrael Nosan Bo Simen Mahu. What happens if a Jew comes and brings and gives a simon? So he's proven, according to the halacha, that that's his item. He identified it. So Rav Nachman persisted. Nevertheless, it belongs to the finder. And then Rabbi he asked him further. He said, "Hello, Omed b'tzoveach." But listen, he's standing there and he's shouting. What is he shouting? You're saying he's shouting, "Give it back to me." That's I think I like that translation. There's other possibility of saying he's standing and shouting that he's maintaining that he was never miyayish, because that would follow very well with what we've been talking about. The issue is was he miyayish? We assume that he was miyayish in such a case. Why? Because it's a case of Rov Kananim. And case of Rov Kananim, a person figures, who's going to find it? A Kanani. And the Kanani is certainly not going to try to locate the owner. He'll thank his avodah zarah that he gave him this thing to keep. So why? What's the difference that he's coming and say? So what? Oh, so now we have to understand what did Rav Nachman answer back to that? It's like, isn't it a proof that he's saying he wasn't miyayish? I think this was your question this week, Lou.
Right. Yes.
So that's a good point. You see that was this is what Rava was claiming to Rav Nachman. Why should the din be Harei Shalo? We see that this Jew came and he's saying, "Give it back to me. It's mine. I brought you a simon." So what does Rav Nachman say back to that? This is what we have to understand. He said, "Nase ketzoveach al beso shenofo ve'al sfinoso shetova b'yam." Rav Nachman is saying, "Yeah, I understand that he's shouting and everything, but it's comparable to the case of a house owner who stands there and shouts about his house that just caved in. or about his boat that just sunk in the ocean. It's very nice that he's standing there and shouting, but what good does it do? The boat is lost and the house is lost. So I have a note over here on this point, because, in other words, the question is, why is Rav Nachman making that comparison? It's true that the house fell down, so it's a loss. It's true that the boat sunk in the ocean, so it's a loss. So what good does it do to shout about it? Not doing any good to shout about it, doesn't prove anything. But over here, the item is right there, and the person just gave a simon. This Jew just came and gave a simon for his item. It's right there. So what? It doesn't seem to be comparable to what Reb Nachman is saying. Okay, so one idea that I have in a note over here is that Reb Nachman is basically saying that the person is not believed. In other words, what do we mean he's not believed? He's saying give it back to him because he was never miyayish. And the Rav Nachman is saying we don't believe that. Certainly, he was miyayish when he found out that his item was lost, and then sometime thereafter, maybe somebody told him that his item was found by a Jew, and now he's filled with hope. He's going to go over and ask the Jew to give a simon and ask him to give it back to him. So again, the case for sure, lifnei mishur sadin, he should give it back to him. But Rav Nachman is answering him not lifnei mishur sadin. He's answering him, what is the halacha? The strict letter of the law halacha is he's not required to give it back, because he's allowed to maintain that the person was miyayish when he found out. Wow. I have another note over here. I mean, this is they're not arguing on the din. They're just saying, why was it that he didn't answer him? Why didn't Rav Nachman answer him like who was it that we had before? Mar Shmuel. Mar Shmuel said he's chayav to give it back to the person. And Rav Nachman over here is saying no, the Harei Elu Shelo, he's not required to give it back. So one of the commentators, the Mordechai, says that it must be that this case was a case where the finder was a poor person, and the one who lost the item was a rich person. Because otherwise, he says it doesn't make any sense that Rav Nachman didn't say yes, he should give it back to him. Okay. In other words, because of this principle of lifnei mishur sadin. But he's agreeing that He's agreeing that the bottom line, strict letter of the law, halacha, is that he's not required to give it back. Okay, so they're discussing this point about lifnei mishur sadin, and when it's when it's something that should be when and what's they're trying to explain why was it Reb Nachman didn't say he's chayv to give it back to him. Okay, but that seems to be the point. Why make a din? It's a hariyeh shalom. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next Gemora. Hahu dayo. We'll see what a dayo is.
A vulture.
Oh, a vulture. Ah.
That's what my English says. Hahu dayo. There was this vulture. Shakil bisara. Basra. Bishuka. He took meat in the market. Bishadye bitsiniyasa de Bay Bar Marion. He threw it between the palm trees of Bar Marion. Asa lekamei de Abaye. Bar Marion came before Abaye. Amar Le. Abaye said to him, Zil shakul lenaf shach. Take the meat for yourself.
Zil shkol nafshach.
Zil shkol lenafshach. Go take for yourself. V'ha ruba the Yisrael ninahu.
Oh.
Surely the majority of the residents of the area were Jews. Shamat mina. Learn from this. Halacha to Rebbe Shimon ben Elazar. The halacha is in accordance with Rebbe Shimon ben Elazar. Afilu berov Yisrael, even where the majority are Jews.
Right, because remember, Shimon ben Elazar, he was the one that said that if a Jew loses his item in a place where there's a rabbim, which is found there, a lot of people are found there. So the din is harei elu shelo. He could keep it, and we didn't ever resolve whether he said that in a case only of Rov Kananim, or he said it even in a case of Rov Yisrael. Gemora here is saying Shema Mina. We have a proof from the ruling that Abaya made in this case that the halacha is like Rishim ben Elazar, even in a case of Rov Yisrael, as this place that there was lost is a place of Rov Yisrael.
Let's see. Shani Dayo is different with the vulture.
Shani Dayo.
Zuto shel yam, because it resembles the tides of the sea. So there's nobody to claim it. It was lost by a vulture.
Shona hadin bedin hanotel b'asar sharei habayli misyaishi mimenu mishum she'ein be'efshuruto lahatzil es habasar Moshe other misyaishi. In other words, we're comparing if somebody sees his item gets swept up in the river, the river overflows, the water overflows, it could be sent downstream miles and miles. So he says it's a lost cause. Well, who knows how far away it went, and how on earth am I going to be able to find it? So he gives up in such a case. Over here, we're comparing the case of the vulture. The vulture. Who knows where who knows where the vulture is going to drop the meat? He's not going to eat it himself. Vultures don't eat meat.
That's a good question. They certainly do.
So that would be the reason why it's a lost cause, I would say.
The vulture would eat it.
Yeah. So in any case, this case of the vulture is like a case of Zuta Shel Yam. So a case of Zuta Shel Yam, Rav Shimon Elazar is not talking about that case. He's not talking about such a case. Obviously, this is a case of Hare Elu Shelo, because it's a clear case of a lost cause. So,
well, wait, isn't that Zutra Shel Yam?
What?
That is like Zutra Shel Yam, but it's a lost.
Yeah. That's what the Gemora is saying. The Gemora is saying that the case of the vulture is like Zuta Shel Yam. And if in fact it's comparable to Zuta Shel Yam, so then it's not really it's not really comparable to the case of that Rav Shimon Elazar was talking about. He was talking about a case where an item was lost in a place which is Rabbi Metzuin Sham, and he held that the din is Harei El Shelo in that case because the owner is going to be miyayish in such a scenario. But that scenario is a far cry from Zuta Shel Yam. In other words, it could be that the Rosh ben Elazar would say his din only in a case of Rov Kananim. And in the case of Rov Yisrael, he would not say his din. Because the owner would say, oh, well, a Jew's going to find it, and it's a place of Rov Yisrael, the Jew's going to find it, and I'm hoping the Jew's going to find it, and I'm hoping that he's going to be Machris. So why should I give up? So he would only say his din in a case of Rov Kananim. But Zuta Shel Yam is just a total loss. It doesn't matter whether it was Rov Yisrael, Rov Kananim. It's got nothing to do with that. It's a total loss, and so is the case of the vulture. So this case has no bearing on whether Rav Shimon Elazar said his din in a case of Rov Yisrael or Rov Kananim. That's the bottom line. Okay. And now
we have Rashi's on these.
Yeah.
Let's catch up on some of the Rashi's. It starts with the Dio. And it's a Dio is an oath. It's a bird. Shakorim Azal Tur. Who Lushan Daya. And I don't know what that necessarily, how that has to do. I mean, the Oscar calls it a vulture, but I'm not sure how that doesn't affect anything really. Why it's called a vulture. That's what Rashi's giving you. his old French name for it. But then he Shaja, he threw it into Bitsinia. So Bitsnia, the bay, Sinya, the bay Bar Mirion. So that's where he threw it. He threw it by Bar Charion. And Sinya is like privately or whatever, like hiding it more or less.
Sanyasa is a dekalim.
Is it Hashlichu Ben Adachav? He threw it among the date palms. Shalbar Mirion.
Yeah. So that word sanyasa is a date palm.
It's a date palm.
Shaja, but sanyasa the bar Marion. He threw it amongst the date palms on the house of Ber Marion.
Okay, and he's saying that that next Rashi is not connected to this. It's Usser. I don't know what the Usser is.
So that's what he did. He didn't eat it. He had specific instructions from Hashem. It's just like the ravens in the days of Eliyahu and Navi. The ravens, Hashem sent the ravens to go grab some meat from the royal kitchen of Achav, King Achav, and the ravens took the meat over there. They grabbed it, and then they flew over to where Eliyahu was hiding away, and they dropped it down over there. They didn't eat it for themselves. They were shluchei de Rahmana. They were messengers of Hashem. Okay. We have time for another Gemora? Oh, it's 1 minute.
There are 2 lines left to finish.
Okay.
It's Butcher Nitala Mina Ayinus Asar. And that's where the Asar comes in. Is considered fit bin. And Rashi's Asar, his reason for that is that Shema perhaps Nichalef ben Nevela, because it disappeared with view, it maybe got switched with Nevela, and Nevela you're not allowed to eat, and that's why it would be Asar. And then the answer to that is he says no, but he was ba'omed v'ra'oi. He was standing there watching it. It didn't disappear from view. And then v'ro'eh mishnit lo ad he shlichu. What's that word?
Mishanatlo. From the time from the time that he took it.
From when he took it, ad shlichu until it was thrown.
Cast it over there where he cast it by the palms.
Always in sight, so if it's always in sight, then it's not Nevela necessarily, because I know what the story is. Okay.
Very good.
Okay, thanks. I'm not for the next couple of days. I'm on a tiyul.
Oh, okay. Enjoy your tiyul.
Thanks.
Have a great time.
And Lou, I said to the rabbi before, I have a new grandson, so that's I'm going to have that. I'll eventually have a shalom zacher and a bris with that. That'll eventually come up. I did send it to you twice because I wasn't sure what was happening. The first time I couldn't send the document file, and I sent both. I don't know what you use for the newsletter.
Okay, I saw an email from you. I didn't look at it yet, so
That's okay. basically 2 emails. The first one I only was able to send the PDF, and then later on it was able to work to send the doc. Because only the docs I can only send from one computer. The other computer doesn't have doc. One does, but sometimes that computer doesn't. It was just acting up. But I did send it again this morning. So you got 2 files: a doc file and a PDF file. I don't know what you use. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
Take care. Be well.
Okay, Mazel Tov, Phil.